mount tons of fun. And that's what we're hoping to have this year. Tons of fun. And we're here in Sevierville at the Sevierville Park here. And they do have a pool here. It's open in the summer. I got a nice little water slide, and it's cheap. It's like, I don't know, I think it's under $10 a person. It might have went up. It's been a while since we've been to the community pool. This is an alternative if you're coming to the Smokies in the summer and you're on a budget. There's a lot of fun here. They even got water slides. But yeah, a little gloomy today, but the weather is absolutely amazing. And this is a really great park. This is where Dawn and I will come and walk every now and then. We have different places that we like to walk in general, but this is just one of them. And they're redoing all the baseball fields at the moment. They got all kinds of pickleball courts over there. And, well, there's Dawn.
Hi.
We're back.
Yep, we're back.
We're back.
And the Smokies.
We're back in the Smokies again. We're back. So yeah, they're doing a lot of improvements to the park. And we figured this was a perfect place to do a walk-in talk. Something that we want to do this year. I could do it all the time, but maybe so we can communicate with you all and I guess tell you what's on our mind and how we're feeling. And we do a lot of live streams, but it seems like in live streams, the subject that we want to talk about never gets talked about because everybody changes it, right? And which is good. But this here is going to be something we're going to do on our channel. You see the great pumpkins back there. In fact, Dawn and I have extensively cleaned it. I got up underneath it, wiped everything down because there was a lot of salt in Michigan. Also, look at this. I'm wearing this light vest. It's beautiful here. Cloud covered. It looks like it might rain, even though it's not calling for rain. But we were freezing the whole time in Michigan. Of course, we caught them at a time where they were really in a cold snap. And that's the reason why I love living here. In January, wearing this light vest. You really don't even need the vest, believe it or not. You could just, I guess if you're out here for a few hours, the cold might start. I think it's almost 60 degrees. So, but yeah, let's talk a little bit. We got a lot on our minds. The Family Aquatic Center. Yeah, this is a pretty hopping place. In fact, it's still pretty cheap. It's $6 for admission. That's the cheapest swimming you can do in the Smokies, I'll tell you that. And it's cash only. They do not have credit cards, so remember to bring some cash with you. The pool don't look really good right now. It's actually green and kind of disgusting, but let me reassure you, this is a really nice pool. Got a lot of loungers. Seeing that there's no kids here, it's a great opportunity to show you all what's available for the kids. Nice gated area. You can sit over here and watch the kids play, and a little shaded area. You do need that.
What is this?
It's kind.
Supposed to be a merry-go-round.
So that's a merry-go-round, but it's a modern day version.
I've never seen one before.
Now, when I was a kid, we used to spin it real fast and then grab on it and then go around. You can't do that anymore, right?
Plastic.
I mean, everything we had was metal.
Yeah.
Now
We
it's
had the hot seat, the hot slide, the hot seat. This is plastic.
like when you get on it when the sun's been beating on it and you burn your butt. Yeah. Climb to the top, right? Yeah, I'd hurt myself. I'm getting there, guys. It is. I've been wanting to make a video here to show folks this, but
it's really cool.
but there's always a bunch of kids in here, so we can never show you it.
So when we go down, you're up there in the air like this, and then The other one had to push their legs
Yep.
up in the air and the air. And you're
So
down.
I was the kid that would get somebody up in the air and I'd jump off.
Oh, and then they'll land and hurt their feet.
Exactly.
You're bad.
I know. I was a little stinker.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're actually doing this.
No hands, Mom.
You know, believe it or not, this is kind of
You want to have hands.
this is kind of relaxing. I might do this like look at that. Yeah, and this is all spongy here. It's safe to play on.
Oh, it was little.
Yeah, we get real high and then we'd Superman it. I think that's what he called it. Supermanning.
Yeah.
And there's always that one kid out of the group that would hurt himself for like real good, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It looks like a conveyor belt in a factory.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of roll through it.
I think it rolled through on your butt.
I'm not doing it. Now this is something totally new. I've never seen.
It doesn't want to spin.
I think you kind of get it going.
Oh, it does spin.
Oh, it spins. It's kind of like a merry-go-round, but you stand up on it, right?
Yeah.
And I do want to say thank you all so much for all the support in 2025. It was a very good year for the channel, and your love and support by watching our YouTube videos was overwhelming, and it shows. So thank you once again. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the future of our channel. Pretty much it'd be the near future. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll also talk a little bit about our recent trip to Michigan. And in other words, we're going to catch you guys all up on what's going on. Yeah, so baseball is huge here in Sevierville during the spring, summer, and fall months. And they're redoing all of their baseball fields here. I think they got like 6 of them here. Of course, the pickleball courts are over there. You got the Smoky Mountain Children's Home over that way. I can see the parkway from here. If you zoom all the way over, you'll see the parkway. You got the Chinese restaurant that we like over there. And this is the official beginning of the slow season here in the Smokies. January, February being the slowest. So things are changing here as well. So we had to make a last minute run up to Michigan. My good friend growing up, Lee, had passed away. We all grew. He was youngest out of all of us. He was the little brother of the group. He was only 44 years old, guys. And it's you start. We're getting to that age where this is going to start happening. And this is like the first real shock, for us. Everybody had showed up, great support. But yeah, we grew up together. We climbed trees. We raced anything that had wheels on it. As we got older, you know what I mean? We always hung out. We used to have great big bonfires and picnics, and it was a lot of fun growing up out in this rural community where you couldn't pick and choose your friends, because the wind does feel good, but you couldn't pick and choose your friends, and we just grew bonds, and our differences we always had to work out, because that's the only choice you can have. And so we were, everybody was super connected still today. I mean, it was amazing to see everybody in the group there. You know, my friend Lee does. Oop, that wind. So Lee does leave his wife behind. His mom, his grandmother, very, very sweet folks. He also leaves his children and grandchildren, and he had one on the way. And it's tough. It's tough to, you know, take it all in. I guess the only thing I could say is that hug somebody out there, tell them you love them, you know, because you don't know that might be the next time you might not see them again. So don't take the little things for granted. Sometimes they're the most precious, and cherish all your moments. But it was sad. It was sad, and it was different seeing the group of friends get together, and we're all graying. We're all starting to makes you start wondering. It makes you appreciate life more and more, and appreciate the yet again the little things. It wasn't always the big thing that we were doing, but it was the things in between. I guess is what we remember. Yeah, I was hoping to do the walk around, but it's all gone. They've taken out all the walking paths. It's supposed to be a walk and talk. It's not it's supposed to be listen to and watch all the construction going on in the park. But it's great to see the improvements. What is our plans in the near future? We're talking maybe in the next few months. In a few days, we're going to be heading to Florida, mostly for a family trip. My mom, my sister, yeah, we're gonna head to Florida. It's kind of like a vacation thing. We will make some videos when we're there, but we're also going to spend a lot of time, you know, just being with one another, and yet again making memories, making moments. We are also going to be doing a cruise when we're in Florida, so stay tuned for that. It will be my mom and Sierra's first cruise ever. We are going to have a few days, probably a week or so coming up, where there might not be a video out. We will post on our Facebook maybe some photos, you know, share a little bit there. And as soon as I get a chance, I can sit down, I will edit and start putting out those videos. But the most important thing is that we spend time with mom, and I spend time with my mom and our sisters, and spend time with Dawn, right? Spend time with our family here. So if you don't see a video out for a little bit, just rest assured we're making the videos, and we will put them out when we get a chance. So in 2026, we want to do a lot of road trip adventures right here in the good old United States of America. Dawn wants to try to complete, or at least get the majority of the 50 states that we set out to do a few years ago. And we only have 11 of them left. So what states do we have left? We have Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Those are the closest ones. The rest of them are all out on the west coast, northwest of the country. So we have Washington, Oregon, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado.
In Hawaii.
Hawaii's one of them. What else do we have out there?
I don't know, the 3 down in the dip by Florida and Georgia, and then the other ones.
Yeah, so expect to see some videos
We have like
of
11 more to go.
11 more. Yeah, it's not much if you think about it. It's just that it's the farthest away from us. So that's our main goal, is to get that done. And of course, those states there are some of the coolest because they got so many great national parks, you know? Like, that's what we want to do is Yosemite and Yellowstone and Old Faithful, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of, it's going to be exciting. We live, so of course we live here in the Great Smoky Mountains, and we're going to continue doing Smoky Mountain adventures when we're not, trying to complete that bucket list of things.
So in 2026, my New Year's resolution is just to try to get the 11 more states done. I don't know if I get all 11 of them done, but we can try.
I know Hawaii is one of your
Bucket list. Yeah.
one of the ones. We'll get to that. We will have some more cruising. In fact, you guys out there have shown us that you enjoy it, and we also enjoy it too. So there'll be more cruising in the future. International travel. I know a lot of folks enjoy international travel. They're some of the most popular videos we have done, some of the most watched videos, most watch time and everything that we've done. We don't currently have anything international. We do have ideas. We do have plans for future international trips. And there's one that I'm working on at the moment that involves a cruise. So a lot of folks out there probably already had guessed that. A lot of folks guess us, you know what I mean? They do. So there's some more international. So hopefully we'll have more international. I don't see that being until maybe in the summertime or something like that. But stay tuned for that as well. But our channel has always been a mixed bag of things. In fact, when we first started it, I believe it was some of our adventures we had in Florida was some of the first videos that we had shot. Of course, we always make Smoky Mountain stuff. When I came up with the Yankee in the South name, it was supposed to be us showing our northern perspective of the South, our travels, the things we come across, the roadside adventures, the foods that southern food, little roadside stops, little back roads. We have a great series on this channel where we just explore Tennessee. You're going to see some more of that this year as well. More traveling to all those little towns. We kind of have a goal. We've never really told anybody about it, but we want to kind of visit like all of the towns and cities in the state of Tennessee. So we've done a lot already.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot on the eastern side. There's still some here on the eastern side we haven't visited, but a lot of it is on the west side. We want to make it out to like Paris, Tennessee. They have an Eiffel Tower out there. I want to check out, and we want to do some more Memphis. We want to get some of that Memphis barbecue, but in moderation, because we're going to talk about that next on our channel. In moderation, and we're going to talk about health. It's probably one of the biggest questions we get, and it's also the one that you'll get ridiculed. Everybody has their opinion, and it could fill up a comment section within minutes. So we are here at 50, and so many of you guys have shown concern for our health. I just want you all to know we do have doctors. We do see them. In fact, I see my doctor every couple months because I do have high blood pressure. And, they monitor that as well. I do also have a couple small health concerns too that I just don't want to share with everybody, because people are very, very judgmental on everything, and they can be very mean and stuff. It's nothing to worry about, but it's something that if I don't start to pay attention to now as I get older, my 50, my 60s, I don't know, 60s, 70s, and 80s or something, it could become a big problem. And I've been working on that. In 2026, I really want to make it a goal to try to make our health a little bit better. I do know that we're probably going to fail along the way. We are probably going to, be criticized for it, or, all that as well. Part of our channel here, one of the biggest things we do on our channel is food reviews and things like that. And we kind of like to show you the different foods and tell you as much as we can, and tell you so much, get as much information as we can from an outing at a restaurant. And from this point going on, it might change a whole lot, we will still do food reviews, but Dawn and I might share a meal, and we might not be able to give you the full perspective of everything on a menu or something like that. So in 2026, I do want to get better, try to make better choices when it comes to health and stuff like that. So I go for blood work, I go for tests. I got problems. Dawn, tell them what you're...
Mine came out back negative, positive. Everything's good.
Everything.
I don't know how to say it, negative or
The
positive.
doctor says you have a body of a 20-year-old. You have the stats of a 20-year-old. Me, I'm probably getting close to 60, right? Yeah. So I have a lot of work to do. Dawn's going to keep me in line. And we'll go from there. Yeah. Dawn doesn't have to see the doctor for a year. I got to see a doctor every couple months. I think we got some surprises for everybody this year, so stay tuned to that. I also want to touch base with just rumors. And this is something I really don't want to address. I don't want to address, but I do want to take a moment to address the rumors out there. I had a real good friend of the channel of many, many years, been watching us thick and thin, had said, Will, I think you do need to take some time and address just crap that floats around the internet. So y'all should know by now that half the stuff you hear on the internet is just, it's not correct. I actually get a chuckle out of it, because people will bring stuff up to us and they'll say, hey, Will, did you hear this about you? And I'm like, that's not even a thing. That never even happened. But there are a few I do want to touch base with. I think folks are trying to use this to cancel us out, or to try to make us look like we're trying to make us look like something that we're not. I asked our longtime friend on YouTube, can you write down a list of things that I should address? And he had done that, and we're going to go over that. So one of the things as of lately is, how do we make money on YouTube? And that is probably one of the biggest questions. How do we afford to do our trips? How does that happen? And I understand a lot of folks, they want to know because, you know, they want to, you know, learn from that, maybe figure out how they can do that. And there's really two big parts of that. One is YouTube revenue. The second would be personal finances, personal investments for us. Now, there's lots of ways you can make money on YouTube to afford to have these adventures that we have. We're not the only ones. In fact, there's a lot of creators out there who do the exact same content. And how do they make money? How do we make money? And it's very simple. I know the answer for all of it because we all do pretty much the same thing, but we are all a little different as well. Ad revenue, those little commercials that you see pop up in these videos, we get a percentage. We get like a penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies for those commercials that you see. And on this channel here, we get approximately about 600,000 views a month. It goes up. I mean, we normally, a few years ago, we were getting more views. So, you know, it was up around 8 and 9. You know, we're getting almost pretty close to 1 million views a month. But these days we get about 500,000 and 600,000 views. So if you're making 2 and 3 cents, depending on different things, times that by the 600,000 views a month. And it will give you a rough estimate of really what we make on YouTube. We do get a 1099 at the end of the year. So we do pay taxes. In fact, I pay taxes quarterly to the IRS. I give them about 20%, and then that will fluctuate as, you know, the end of the year closes and you finally, you know, you do your final taxes at the end of the year and everything pans out. Normally we pay about 20% of that. Is it enough to live on? For Dawn and I, it is. It is enough for us to live on. But then again, you know, our situation is a lot different than most situations. You know, I think some folks might find it struggling to make a living on YouTube. So, I mean, everybody's situation. I guess that's the biggest thing about this subject in general, is that it doesn't work for everybody in their situations. You know, you got kids, you got this, you got that. It's a whole nother ball of wax. Also, YouTube is not guaranteed. You can have a really good month and then have some very bad months. Now, with that being said, there are other ways that you can get funding to create these YouTube videos, and that is fan funding. Now, we don't have any fan funding, and that's one of the rumors I want to stop in its tracks. We do not have a Patreon. We used to back when we didn't make any money on YouTube. But as we started making money off the ad revenue, we had decided that we were going to stop that because it, you know, we just decided to stop that. Now, don't get me wrong. There are creators out there who have Patreons, but they also spend more money than us to make their videos. In fact, those folks out there are making videos every single day. They're traveling all over the world. And that is how they do it because of the extra income that they get from things like Patreon and other, and, you know, selling merchandise and things like that. And there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think it's a great idea. But Dawn and I had just decided ourselves that we wanted to not have fan funding. I was rambling so much, my SD card filled and I had to clear some of it out. We do not have any fan funding. We do not have a Patreon. We do not have super chats on our live streams. There's a big rumor going around that we have super chats, that we are collecting money and all this and that and all this and that. And it's not true. Another thing is folks think that because we get cards in the mail that we are getting tons of money for that. And the answer to that is no. Yes, we do get, every now and then someone will send us a small gift card for dinner out, and that's exactly what we do. And we do appreciate those folks for doing it. Sometimes we'll get a little money for the gas tank, but there is no way enough revenue there to even, in a year, to even pay for parking at on one of these cruises we do. So those are false. Those are people just passing a narrative off that, we're some kind of, evil people and all this and that. Yeah, so I think we've seen the park and its construction process pretty well. I do have a couple more things I want to talk about, and then we'll call this video. Now, Dawn and I have been hurt in the past on YouTube by other folks, other creators, and I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but and so since the beginning of YouTube, we have taken a different approach. We decided to keep to ourselves over the years, not to get involved with many other folks. We don't really collab. We don't, and that's because we just feel it's less drama for folks who watch our channel. If there isn't always this drama between everyone. I do know there was a lot of great folks out there that wanted to, wanted to be involved, or wanted, to collab, or wanted, a YouTube business adventure, and we had shied away from it. It was nothing personal to anybody in general. It's just that we didn't. Eventually, people are going to bump heads. We don't always think the same. We all have different feelings. We all have different, you know what I mean? And eventually someone's not going to see eye to eye. And it's a little bit different in the YouTube world than if you were in like a real life scenario. The difference is that there's 100,000 people there also involved in that. And it makes it a very toxic thing. And so with that being said, a lot of folks use that against us. Like, hey, they don't have nothing to do with anybody. They don't, and that's not the case. The case is that we just don't want any drama. Now, Dawn and I, in 2026, we want to change that. We feel that was a mistake. We do want to be more open and be more, with other creators and other folks out there. We do understand that everything's not going to work out. And yes, it will probably bring drama, and we will deal with that as it comes. But we want to be, and we've already have started, new relationships on YouTube. And we want to get to know everybody a little bit better. I would say that the Dollywood creator meetup had opened our eyes. There's a lot of folks that we just, not that we didn't like them, it was just because we didn't want to get involved with anyone. And we realized that these folks are really cool. There's a lot of cool folks out there. And we all have our problems. But we feel that we want to we want to be more community oriented in our channel. And also talking about the past. The past is the past. We shouldn't dwell on the past. Also, we had made mistakes in our past too. Do we regret it? We don't regret anything, but I think there could have been better ways to handle the things that had come up, had presented themselves to us. And also we have a lot of folks in our ears as well. And I started to realize over time that there's a lot of people, a lot of things in our heads. And it's not until after you clear and you reflect, you start to see things for what they are. And that's another learning curve that we've learned, is sometimes things are not always as they appear. We don't live in a perfect world. We are not perfect ourselves, nor is anyone. And we've made mistakes, just like anybody else. We're human. We're all sinners. And I wish in a perfect world, a utopia, everything can work out and be roses and everybody can love one another. And I realize one thing, that isn't always, that's wishful thinking, right? And yet again, be careful what you hear. It's a lot of exaggeration out there. A lot of people just trying to make their own narrative. One of the biggest ones we get, though, is that we're on state assistance, or I have sued somebody and got a great big inheritance, or oh gosh, what are some of the other things people say? I won the lottery, and those are all untrue. I had a really good job, and I invested in different things. And I'm not going to get into detail on that because there's privacy. But the thing about it is that all that is not true. I don't know where folks come up with that. I think it's, yet again, they're trying to make a villain out of us. We are blessed to have this YouTube channel. We definitely would not travel as much and do the things and have the money for admission to get into attractions if it wasn't for YouTube in the ad revenue. Dawn, are you on disability?
No.
Do you get a pension?
No. I wish I did. I wish I got a pension.
And these
I had one where I worked, but they made us pull them out, and I didn't pull mine out because there wasn't much in there to begin with.
You got a pretty good 401.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But it's amazing what people come up with, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing. And we want to set that straight, And I think we're going to set that straight now. And that way we can move on in 2026. I don't think it's going to stop anybody from still trying to make their narrative, try to convince others of their narrative of us. But at least the folks who see this video will at least hear from us. Believe us or not, it is what it is. And God is my witness. It's my word. Now's a good time if you have the desire to start a YouTube channel. Start one up. Put a video out there. Don't worry what people say. Just be yourself. Always be yourself. Do a subject that you enjoy, because if it makes it or it doesn't make it, at least you had a good time doing it. And that's it for our walk and talk, our deep dive into things. We're hoping 2026 will be a good year. And yet again, I don't think this video is going to change anything, but maybe give an understanding to some of those folks out there that are wondering what we've been doing, what has happened, and what we're doing into the future. Thank you so much for watching our little videos here. You guys are what makes this happen. And yeah, what do you think, Dawn?
Hopefully 2026 will be a good year.
I do. I hope so too.
For all of us.
And maybe we'll do a little more of these walk and talks. I know there's a few things that people are probably wondering about us that we haven't touched base, and some things, yet again, we're not going to share with anybody. I picked the best place to do this video today. And there are people in our lives. I know a lot of folks have questions about my mom, my sister, other people in our life, but you got to remember they're not on YouTube. They're not making any income from this. They're just a part of our life, and we do share it with you, but you do have to, it's up to them if they want to talk about their personal lives on the internet, which I don't think anybody in my family or anybody I know wants to talk about their personal life. So definitely respect those folks out there. Respect, our family and our friends too. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us on our little adventures. Now it's time for you to go out there, have your own. If you're going to start a YouTube channel, now's the time to do it. Don't do it for money. Do it for fun. And I hope success comes to you. And God bless you guys. We love you, and we'll see you guys next video. Bye, everyone.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise, they'll take you to see the countryside, driving all over Tennessee in their little yellow Jeep. You can come along wherever they go. All you gotta do is watch the show. So be sure you tune in. Don, would you do this again?